This is from our friends at CMA. How have you prepared and developed the family members as owners of a multi-billion-dollar business?
Let's talk about the family.
Well, Andy had the brilliant idea 5 years ago, 6 years ago, to start a family office. He had read about it and decided that that was something that we really needed, that the girls were coming up, and we have 2 that work for the company, and we had varying interests among the girls, but they all had needs, help with, insurance and all that kind of thing. So we started the family office, and it's to educate the G3s, to keep us on page. They are the family office is involved in the planning, strategic planning, everything that we do, and the whole point is to have great communication, keep everybody interested in together, and see what their interests are and how we can help them with their growth and development as we go along. It's interesting. When Jim Mann took the job, I said, "Are you crazy? We're just a group of women. For some reason, we just can't produce men." And it has been a challenge for him. He's learned a lot about women the last 6 years. But it's really been helpful for the family. And Rose is here. She works for the family office. She gets everything coordinated for us, and it's a huge help so that we can really concentrate on the business and on our philanthropy, and they will help us bring the girls along with us.
I might just add to that. I had the notion in the mid to late 90s that we needed to have family meetings because I was getting associated with people like Fisk Johnson, who is SC Johnson Corporation, at a business meeting, and he was, I think, Fisk is 5th generation. But in the mid-90s, I all of a sudden became aware of the questions I needed to ask that I didn't know were there, and started thinking about all this stuff that Joanne just well described. So I remember, I think it was 1998, I said, we need to have a family meeting. And people, you know what, our first family meeting, I think we ought to have it here at the Ritz on a Saturday morning in the board meeting, upstairs here. And I got, what is Uncle Andy doing here? Screwing up my Saturday morning. I mean, they were stunned. But I would say it was a good thing to do, and it has evolved. And it started educating the rest of the family on the business, and started, creating this common view of the business, if you will. And then the family offices come in and just really made that, supercharged, and provides them great education, not just in the business, but also, in just matters of life. And they're going to have some assets, and they need to, know how to deal with that. Was that the whole question?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. I will also invite anybody at the table if they want to come up. And Jim, if you want to come up and speak, or Rose, or family members, feel free to do so as well. So your comment about the first meeting is very typical. Actually, I'd say you'd have an above average first meeting from the sound of that, because most of these first family meetings don't go very well. That is, in our client's experience, that's the track record. Second comment I would offer is you're a much bigger company. Having a family office fits. I would dare say most of the family-owned businesses in this room don't need a family office, but they do very much need family meetings. And I think family meetings are very important. And it's kind of analogous to a stockholder meeting in a public company. It's a chance for the owners of the business to get together and talk. And it's very important for the family to have a forum, to have a venue to talk about matters, to share information, to share plans, develop plans, talk about issues on an ongoing basis. And it's really important before some of those really sticky, thorny issues come up, like I want you to buy me out, or I'm dissatisfied with the dividend, or the distribution that's being paid out, management gets too big a bonus, or whatever. Once you get to those issues, it's almost too late to start that constructive forum.
Can I just add one thing to that?
Absolutely.
Because you're absolutely point on. One of the things why my father and I got along so well was in 1973 when Barbara and I moved back from California, where I worked for Ford for 3 years and learned a lot about how not to do things. my father and I sort of outlined the rules of engagement. And one thing I always told him, and I tell the family today too, and I tell our board of directors, that I never want to surprise you. You know, if I think something is going to go wrong or has a slight chance of going wrong, I got to tell, I would call my father, I would tell him. And I did the same with Joanne and the rest of the family, that if you're going to build that level of trust, you just can't surprise them. Now, sometimes there are surprises, and you just say, I am sorry, I did not see this coming. But I think the relationships start with no surprises.
I guess my acid test would be for you, is your family, your forums and your processes to manage the family side as well developed as your forum and processes to manage the business side? And I guess that Andy and Joanne, how often do you meet with your family? Do you have a regular meeting schedule?
We do three meetings a year. We have 3 meetings a year, and they're very well planned out. 2 of the G3s are in charge of setting the agenda. We always try to have a mix of things. We have we'll have a business report. We'll bring in one of our top managers just to give everyone a chance to get to know them. We talk about philanthropy, and that's kind of how we do it.